Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Shri Sri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Nitya Leela Vishnu Mr. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Samstapakacharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Gauri Vaishnavin Ki Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Bolo Sri Sri Krishna Baldao Ki Jai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, and the very last chapter of Chapter 10, Chapter 90, summary of Lord Krishna's glories, if that's possible to summarize his glories. Text number 16 and 17. So we're just behind Juhu. We were just there. They're on 11th Canto, Chapter 2. Netre Nimalayasi Naktam Adrista Bandhus Tvam Roravishi Karunam Bata Chakravaki Dasyam Gata Mayam Ivachutta Pada Justam Kim Bha Srajam Sprihayase Kavarena Bodum Netre Nimila Yastasaktam Adrista Bandhus Tvam Ravisi Karuna Bata Chakravaki Dasyam Gatat Vayam Ivachuta Parajustam Kimba Srajam Sprihayase Kavarena Bodum Netre Nimila Yasinaktam Adrista Bandhus Tramro Ravishi Karunam Bala Chakravaki Dasyam Gatabayam Ivachuta Justam Tam Kimbas Srajab Sprayasi Kavarena Vodum Netre Nimilayasi Nektam Adrista Bandhu Tramro Ravishi Karunam Bata Chakravaki Dasyam Gatavayam Ivachuta Justam Kimbasrajam Spriyase Kavarena Vodum Ladies? Netre, your eyes. Nimilayasi, you keep closed. Naktam, during the night. Adrista, not seen. Bandhu, who's beloved. Tvam, you. Roravishi, are crying. Karunam, pitifully. Bata, alas. Chakravaki, oh Chakravaki, female crane. Dasyam, servitude. Gata, attain. Bayamiva, like us. Achuta, of Krishna. Pada, by the feet. Justam, honored. Kim, perhaps. Ba, or. Srajam, the flower garland. Sprihayase, you desire. Kavarena, in the braid of your hair. Vodum, to carry. Translation, poor Chakravarti, even after closing your eyes, you continue to cry pitifully through the night for your unseen mate. Or is it like us, you have become the servant of Achyuta and hanker to wear in your braided hair the garland that he is blessed with the touch of his feet? Translation, please repeat. Poor Chakravarti, even after closing your eyes, you continue to cry pitifully through the night for your unseen mate. Or is it that, like us, you have become the servant of Achyuta and hanker to wear in your braided hair the garland he has blessed with the touch of his feet? And no purport, we'll go to the next verse. Bobo sada nistanase udanvan alabda nidra digata prajagaraha kimba makunda aparitatma lanchanaha praptam dasam tvam chagato duryatyayam. Translation, dear ocean, you are always roaring, not sleeping at night. Are you suffering insomnia? Or is it that, as with us, Mukunda has taken your insignias and you are helpless of retrieving them? Translation, please repeat. Dear ocean, you are always roaring and not sleeping at night. Are you suffering insomnia? Or is it that, as with us, Mukunda has taken your insignias and you are hopeless of retrieving them? Purport by the followers of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Sridhar Swami states that Lord Krishna's queens here confuse the sea surrounding Dwarka with the celestial ocean of milk, from which Lakshmi and the Kaustubha gem arose long ago. These were taken, apavrita, by Lord Vishnu, and they now reside on his chest. The queens presume that the ocean is anxious to see once again the mark of Lakshmi's residence and the Kaustubha jewel on the Lord's chest, and they express their sympathy by saying that they also want to see those marks. But the queens desire even more to see the kumkum marks on the Lord's chest, which he, quote-unquote, took from their breast when they last embraced him. So read these two verses again. Poor Chakravarti, even after closing your eyes, you continue to cry pitifully through the night for your unseen mate. Or is it like us, you have become the servant of Achyuta and hanker to wear in your braided hair the garland he is blessed with the touch of his feet? Dear ocean, you are always roaring, not sleeping at night. Are you suffering insomnia? Or is it that, as with us, Mukunda has taken your insignias and you are helpless of retrieving them? Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparandigam Adadanastrilandantai Vridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha, Kripa Sindhuvevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So we're in a most amazing part of Srimad Bhagavatam, observing the madness of the gopis. Generally, madness is considered a very bad quality. Just like we know, we have 6 friends that we keep very carefully in our heart. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mad, and Matsarya. So these are very bad qualities. But just like our Bhakti dear Damodar Swami pointed out yesterday, that he asked you all, if you want this type of madness, and I think everybody was agreed, this is a very ecstatic type of madness, where it's the most amazing thing. Krishna is there with the gopis, but they're unable to see him, and they're crying in separation, and imagining all types of very interesting things. This is called prema vaicitya. You describe there's so many different types of feelings of separation. One of those is fear of separation, that soon will be parted. And sometimes that expands so much within the heart that one even thinks that the lover has already left. One is unable to see. This fear of separation expanded so much. So the gopis, now they're crying in separation. And they're giving so many different examples. Just like yesterday we heard about the Kurari bird. So I was curious, so I looked up on Google. Kurari is osprey, which is a type of sea hawk. And if you go on Google and you put in the sound of the osprey, then you can hear. So they're, just like they're crying, they're imagining that the Kurari bird is also crying. This, classically in Sanskrit is used for in relation to the feelings of separation. So they're imagining that the Kurari bird is also crying in separation. And now they're talking about the Chakravaki. So I also looked that up, and I realized that I've seen them before on the Jamuna. It's sort of a rust or orange-colored duck. Sort of a orange-colored, or sort of rusty color. Some white is there, but it's mostly orangish duck. You'll see them on the Jamuna. And they're also used in Sanskrit literature for feelings of separation, because they have a very wonderful call, something like, ew, ew. So both these things are used in relation to the feelings of separation. So the gopis are hearing the Chakravaki cry, so they're thinking she's also crying in separation from her unseen mate. So the gopis are seeing everything in this world as magnifying their feelings of separation. And then Sridhar Swami explains here, or was it Vishwanath Chakravarti? Sridhar Swami, that the gopis have mistaken the ocean that surrounds Dwarka with the milk ocean. Because when they churned the ocean of milk, then many wonderful things came. We know Airavata came, and the moon came, and the Kastobha came. Lakshmi also appeared. So they're confusing this ocean. They hear him roaring all night. Just like if you live on the ocean, or live near the ocean sometimes, and all night long you hear this beautiful sound of the waves coming in. So they're considering the ocean is crying all night long in separation like them. Because Krishna, he took Lakshmi, he took the Kastobha, he took all these things. So in the same way, Krishna has stolen their hearts and minds and everything. So they're imagining it in the same way, that Krishna has taken all these things from the ocean, Lakshmi and the Kaustubha gem, and they're very anxious to get them back. So in this way, they're expressing their madness. And it reminds us of the madness of the Gopis. Of course, the queens of Dwarka, they can't come anywhere near the Gopis, but still, hearing about this reminds us of the madness of the Gopis. That's in another chapter. That's chapter 30 of the 10th canto. Sukadeva Goswami said, when Lord Krishna disappeared so suddenly, the Gopis felt great sorrow at losing sight of him, like a group of female elephants who have lost their mate. This is when Krishna disappeared from the rasa dance. As the cowherd women remembered Lord Krishna, their hearts were overwhelmed by his movements and loving smiles, his playful glances and enchanting talks, and by the many other pastimes he would enjoy with them. Thus absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, the Lord of Rama, the Gopis began acting out his various transcendental pastimes. They've also become mad. Because the beloved Gopis were absorbed in thoughts of their beloved Krishna, their bodies imitated his way of moving and smiling, his way of beholding them, his speech, and his other distinctive features. Deeply immersed in thinking of him and maddened by remembering his pastimes, they declared to one another, I am Krishna. Singing loudly of Krishna, they searched for him throughout the Vrindavan forest like a band of mad women. They even asked the trees about him, who as the supersoul, is present inside and outside of all created things, just like the sky. The Gopi said, O Asvata tree, O Plaksha, O Nyagroda, have you seen Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, has gone away after stealing our minds and with his loving smiles and glances? O Kurabaka tree, O Ashoka, O Naga, Punaga, and Champaka, has Balaram's younger brother, whose smile removes the audacity of all proud women, passed this way? O most kind Tulsi, to whom the feet of Govinda are so dear, have you seen that infallible one walk by, wearing you and encircled by swarms of bees? O Malati, O Malika, O Jati, O Utika, has Madhava gone by here, giving you pleasure with the touch of his hand? O Chuta, O Priyala, O Panasa, Asana, Kovidara, O Jambu, O Arka, O Bilva, Bakula, and Amra, O Kadamba, and Nipa, and all you other plants and trees living by the banks of the Jamuna, who have dedicated your very existence to the welfare of others. We Gopis have lost our minds, so please tell us where Krishna has gone. O Mother Earth, what austerities did you perform to attain the touch of Lord Keshava's lotus feet, which has brought you such great joy that your bodily hairs are standing on end? You appear very beautiful in this condition. Was it that during the Lord's current appearance that you acquired this ecstatic symptom, or was it perhaps much earlier when he stepped upon you in his form of a dwarf, Vamanadev, or even earlier when he embraced you in the form of the boar, Barahadev? O friend, wife of the deer, has Lord Achyuta been here with his beloved, bringing great joy to your eyes? Indeed, following this way is the fragrance of his garland of kunda flowers, which was smeared with a kumkum from the breasts of his girlfriend when he embraced her. O trees, we see that you are bowing down when the younger brother of Rama walked by here, followed by intoxicated bees swarming around the tulsi manjaris, decorating his garland. Did he acknowledge your obeisances with his affectionate glances? He must have been resting his arm on the shoulder of his beloved and carrying a lotus flower in his free hand. Let us ask these creepers about Krishna. Even though they are embracing the arms of their husband, this tree, they certainly must have been touched by Krishna's fingernails, since out of joy they are manifesting eruptions on their skin. Having spoken these words, the gopis, distraught from searching for Krishna, began to act out his various pastimes, fully absorbed in thoughts of him. One gopi imitated Putana, while another acted like infant Krishna and pretended to suck her breast. Another gopi, crying in imitation of infant Krishna, kicked a gopi who was taking the role of the cart demon, Shakatasura. One gopi took the role of Trinarvata and carried away another who was acting like infant Krishna, while yet another gopi crawled around, her ankle bells tinkling as she pulled her feet. Two gopis acted like Rama and Krishna in the midst of several others who took the role of cowboys. One gopi enacted Krishna's killing of the demon Vatsasura, represented by another gopi, and a pair of gopis acted out the killing of Bakasura. When one gopi certainly imitated how Krishna would call the cows who had wandered far away, how he would play his flute, how he would engage in various sports, the others congratulated her with explanations of sadhu, sadhu. Another gopi, her mind fixed on Krishna, walked about with her arm resting on the shoulder of a friend and declared, "I am Krishna, just see how gracefully I move." "Don't be afraid of the wind and rain," said one gopi. "I will save you." With that, she lifted her shawl above her head. Sukadev Goswami continued, "O king," one gopi climbed on another's shoulders and putting her foot on the other's head said, "Go away from here, O wicked snake. You know that I have taken birth in this world just to punish the envious." Then another gopi spoke up, "My dear cowherd boys, look at this raging forest fire. Quickly close your eyes, and I will easily protect you." One gopi tied up her slender companion with a flower garland and said, "Now I will bind this boy who has broken the butter pots and stolen the butter." The second gopi then covered her face and beautiful eyes, pretending to be afraid. While the gopis were thus imitating Krishna's pastimes and asking Vrindavan's creepers and trees where Krishna, the Supreme Soul, might be, they happened to see his footprints in a corner of the forest. The marks of a flag, lotus, thunderbolt, elephant goad, barley corn, and so forth on these footprints clearly distinguished them as belonging to that great soul, the Sandananda Maharaj. In this way it goes on describing the madness of the gopis. And we found another instance when we were researching for our book. This is found in Sri Krishna Bhavanamrita of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Prabhupada said, if you want to understand Krishna consciousness, then you read this book of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishna Bhavanamrita. So there's a wonderful narration of a pastime at Chandra-sarovara, mentioned in Sri Krishna Bhavanamrita of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Chandra-sarovara is just a little ways from Govardhan. On this side of Govardhan, just a little ways. Just after shortly after our ISKCON ashram there. Radha and Krishna, with the Sakis, wandered from forest to forest in Vrindavan, enjoying the wonderful atmosphere of each different forest. So we've been hearing over and over again that there's 12 forests, but actually there's many, many sub-forests within those forests. I believe in Braja Bhakti Vilas by Narayan Bhatta Goswami, he enumerates 192 forests. So we're going to hear about some of these sub-forests. They wandered from forest to forest in Vrindavan, enjoying the wonderful atmosphere of each different forest. They arrived at the Hemanta forest, the season November, December, when due to cold, Radha started shivering. Krishna at once gave her a warm embrace. Then Vrindadevi, the divine keeper of the forest of Braj, presented them a warm coat of red, tawny, dark blue, and golden colors. Strolling on, they came to Shishira Sukada, the forest that gives joy in the winter, where the lotus flowers are always happy to touch the rays of the sun from the sky. Moving with great fun in that forest, Krishna saw some kunda flowers. In this season now, we have these little white jasmine flowers. But when it becomes cold, then there's another type of flower. It's called kunda. It's also white with little pinkish highlights. But this comes only in the winter season. Krishna saw some kunda flowers. In great joy, he began to pick them to decorate Sri Radhika. Sri Radhika smiled and covered her face in shyness. After that, they came to Vasanta Sukada, the forest that gives joy in the springtime. There, the mango trees are dripping from top to root with drops of honey. Seeing Govardhan from there, Krishna started speaking to his beloved Sri Radha as follows. Look, O beloved, destroying their enemy Indra, Govardhan became the king of all mountains. The great mountains like Meru and others have now hidden their giant forms and are worshipping Govardhan with their luster. The Ganga flowing from Govardhan's golden plains, Manasi Ganga, makes him look like Mount Meru. The snowy splendor of his caves makes him look like the Himalayas. His high peaks that want to block the sun are like those of the Vindhya hills, and the silver boulders that form our thrones make him look like Mount Kailash. At the Rasastali near Chandra-sarovara, Krishna joyfully proclaimed, "Oh, my dear Radhe, here is where we enjoy the rasa dance in the springtime." In Kartik time, the rasa dance is taking place in Vrindavan town, but in springtime, the Vasant Ras takes place just near Chandra-sarovara. Let us rest here for a while on these jeweled platforms. While they were resting, Vrindadevi brought a glass full of honey wine and placed it in front of Krishna. When Sri Radhika looked into the silver cup to see how wonderful the honey was, she saw her Priyatama's lotus-like face reflected in that ambrosial nectar. Sri Radhika then began to drink the nectar of her beloved's most beautiful face, considering that transcendental taste to be sweeter than the honey. She said to the Creator, "O Brahma, how many times have you been cursed by us gopis, whose minds were burning in the fire of anxiety? We cursed you for creating the bashfulness that withholds us from looking straight at Krishna's most exquisite face. But now you have made this honey in which we can see Krishna's most beautiful face without obstacle. Our minds are no longer burning in the fire of agony. Instead, we have attained the pinnacle of ecstasy. We praise you 100 times for this." With a crooked smile, Krishna said, "Sakhi, now you are forcibly drinking the nectar of my lotus-like face, yet I don't know what drinking this honey will do to you." Hearing this, Sri Radhika became annoyed with Krishna, as if he had removed the reflection of his most attractive face in her glass by drinking the honey wine. Krishna held the glass with honey under Sri Radhika's tender reddish lips, enthusiastically saying, "Drink, drink, drink." But Radhika raised her eyebrows and smiled and retorted, "No, no, no," turning her lotus face away. However, with playfully moving glances, Krishna forced her to drink. He also forced Lalita and her Sakis to drink, so that eyes turned reddish, their garments loosened, and their intoxicated state destroyed their shame. Laughing, the Sakis also made each other drink. Sri Radhika became confused and dizzy from intoxication. This is also a type of madness. In their intoxicated state, the Gopis stammers, why does the sun fall from the sky? Why does the earth turn? Why do the trees dance? Dear one, protect us. Saying this, some Gopis hung on Krishna's shoulder, some on his arms, some on his chest, and some on his back. And while their veils fell off and their hair loosened, Krishna embraced them all tightly with his arms. The Gopis then forcibly kissed him, restlessly bending their sweet necks. Watching the scene, the maidservants tried to stop their giggling by covering their mouths. Krishna told those maidservants, "Oh, fickle-eyed ones, look what your mistresses are doing. They're all joining together to defeat me, whereas I am all alone. It's improper of them to treat me like this. Huh? It is my great fortune that you are not helping them." Then Madhumati came and clearly handed Krishna a cup of honey to make him drink. Too, Krishna accepted it, but with a bent hand. Again and again, he made the Gopis drink, saying, the drink. He held the drink to his mouth, but then he bit on his rosebud lips so that none of the wine came in his mouth. In their drunken state, the Gopis wandered with irregular speech. Is it the day or night? Are we women or men? Are we dressed or naked? Oh, what should we do? Tulsi Manjari asked Krishna, "Dear one, why didn't you drink any honey wine?" Krishna laughingly said, "Tulsi, I constantly drink the honey of your mistress's golden faces that are reflected in my glass. Can't you see my body is studded with drops of perspiration? Just come and serve me by softly fanning me." Hearing Krishna's words, none of the maidservants came close by, afraid Krishna would make them drunk also. So clever Krishna took the cup to his mouth and pretended to drink. He then made his eyes turn red and roll, and his limbs slacken as if they were drunk. He was practiced in acting this way. The Manjaris, seeing Krishna drunk, thought they were now safe and smilingly approached him. Then clever Krishna closed the gates of the kunj. Krishna immediately stopped the kinkaris from escaping and forced them to drink. The kinkaris were prohibiting Krishna, saying, "No, no, no." Finally, Krishna drank 3 kinds of honey again and again. Goda, liquor made from the molasses. Paistika, liquor distilled from grains. And pospa, a kind of liquor made from flowers. He made the kinkaris drink also. As Krishna was in drunken state, he was able to force the kinkaris to drink more. He was unable to force the kinkaris to drink more. The maidservants then, protected by Krishna's drunkenness, began to fan him, seeing the pearl-like drops of perspiration on his body due to the fight. Out of great ecstasy, the Sakis who had not drunk the honey wine, were giving wonderful jewels of their love to Hari. They became amazed to see that the moon of wisdom of the drunken gopis was getting slightly freed from the eclipse of ecstasy caused by drinking the honey of sweet rasa. Hare Krishna. So anyway, these are some more examples of the wonderful madness of the gopis, which is an astounding madness. This is a transcendental madness. Just like several days before, we were celebrating the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. There it describes, Krishna's Kaviraj, he's describing the reasons why Lord Chaitanya appeared, to understand Radharani's love, to know what she feels, to see what is the beauty in him, these three things. He says, Veti lobat. He uses this word lob. Again, we know this is a bad quality. And he's using it in relation to the Lord. He says, Veti loba, to know this. Greedy to know this. The Lord was greedy to understand these things. So he appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he benedicted us with a very wonderful mantra that also makes us mad. We see every day all the devotees are jumping and dancing and spinning and holding each other's hands and spinning around. Just by chanting this mantra, they also become mad. And all our friends and relatives, our parents think that we've become mad. Our friends think we've become mad. Everyone thinks we've become mad. But we like this madness. We're very happy chanting and dancing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is a very wonderful madness. Which saves us from the madness of material life. We see everybody in the world, they're completely intoxicated and completely mad for material enjoyment. And they're never actually enjoying. They only thinking that they're going to enjoy. They said, when I have, 10 lakhs of rupees, then I'll be happy. And when they get 10, they think, no, I want to have 1 crore. And when they get 1 crore, no, they become mad. They're never happy. They're just thinking, when I get that, I'll be happy. When I get this house, I'll be happy. When I get this, they're always thinking they're going to be happy, but they never experience any happiness. The young girl, she sees the handsome young boy. He's so handsome. She thinks, oh, I could live my whole life with this boy. And she marries him. And then Saturday comes, he's got a big fat belly, and he's watching the TV and drinking beer. And she says, you never take me anywhere anymore. Shut up, I'm listening to the cricket game. So we're never happy. We're madly thinking that if I get this, I'll be happy. If I get that, I'll be happy. But we're never actually happy. So if we want real happiness, then we have to return to our natural condition, which is to serve Krishna. Because all these gopis, they're manifesting all this madness because it pleases Krishna. So this is our position, that instead of madly searching for happiness in the material world, it's just a will of the wisp. It slips out of our hands. Just like I was remembering that Gaur Purnima, there was beautiful bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Godruma Bhajan Upadesh. And I'd almost forgotten about it. Every time I would go to Mayapur, I learned a few more verses of it. And would sing them around Mayapur and learn a few more. There's 20 verses. I memorized up to 10. But this Gaur Purnima suddenly I remembered. And the second verse is, Dana Jovana Jivana Raja Sukham Nahi Nityam Manukshana Nasha Param Tajagramya Kata Sakalam Bipalam Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum. Vidum is another name for the moon. So he says, just worship that moon of the kunjas of the forest of Godrum, the golden moon of the forest of Godrum. Dana Jovana Jivana Raja. Dana means money. Dana Jovana, youth. Before there was this social media, the most highest paid executives on the planet were the executives of like Mass Factor and all these different makeup companies. Because we're all, as soon as we see those wrinkles coming, then we want to get rid of those wrinkles. We're worshiping youth. Dana Jovana Jivana. Everybody wants a long life. Dana Jovana Jivana Raja Sukham. We want to be happy like a king. Nahi Nityam Anukshana Nashaparam. They are not eternal. At every Anukshana, every moment, Nashaparam, they're slipping from our hands. Don't chase it. Don't become mad after these things. Dana Jovana Jivana Raja Sukham Nahi Nityam. They're not eternal. Anukshana Nashaparam. We know this word Nasha. They're being destroyed at every moment. Tyajagram Yakata Sakalam Vipalam. And give up all this gossiping. All day long everyone's gossiping. What's Trump going to do next? What's Iran going to do? Tyajagram Yakata Sakalam Vipalam. What will you get from this? Nothing. Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum. Just worship that golden moon of the kunjas of the forest of Godrum. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We thank him for saving us from this madness of material life. So if anybody has any questions or comments, we have a few minutes, we can try to answer them. Yes?
Thank you very much for the class. So the question is this: how we can understand Srila Prabhupada describe how separation in itself is more intense than the meeting. So if you can give separación es más intensa que la unión. ¿Te puede explicar eso?
If there was just separation for all of existence, separation just increases that when we finally again meet with Krishna, then that pleasure increases. Because sometimes when we're with someone, we take them for granted, But when we lose their association, then we go, But if somehow or other we lost the association with someone and we regain it, then from that lamentation, from that ecstasy of separation, the meeting becomes even more ecstatic. So we're not meant to experience separation. That's here in the material world. We want to get this, we want to get this separation. We're not at all, we're all thinking, it's all right, somehow or other I got a transcendental name, somehow or other somebody put a string on my shoulder, it's going on. No, we want to get out of this material world. We want to get serious. We should feel that separation. But it's not that we're meant to have separation for the eternity. That will only increase when we finally meet Krishna. Then our ecstasy will increase even more. Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciated you pointing out the one amazing pastime. Even in meeting, they're feeling separation because they're dreading, we're going to be separated very soon. Even in meeting Krishna, they're feeling separated at the same time. Amazing, amazing emotions the Gopis were having.
Yeah, Bhakti Dear Goswami, Dear Damodar Goswami gave that example of Prem Sarovar. And I just read they're going to build a 200 crore temple of Premeswari in Prem Sarovar with, what is his name? Vinod Baba is going to oversee everything. So, because if the government's left to do it, they'll do. I know they won't make anything but transcendental. But anyway, so Prem Sarovar, Radha and Krishna are sitting in each other's laps, so they're crying, "Oh Radhe, where are you?" And Radharani is crying, Shyam Sundar, where have you gone? They're sitting in each other's lap, but that fear of separation expanded so much within their hearts. Just, he gave the example, Madhumangal came running, I have chased Madhusudan away. Madhusudan will never return. When Radharani heard, because Madhusudan means bee, one bee was buzzing around her, and Madhumangal chased him away. When he said, Madhusudan is gone, he'll never return. Then Krishna is gone, he'll never return. She began to cry, hearing Radharani cry. Krishna also became so absorbed in fear of separation, he could no longer see Radharani was sitting on his lap. This is called Prema Vaicitya. The Bhakti dear Damodar Swami gave this nice example yesterday. There was some other question?
Hare Krishna. I have two questions. One is somewhere it was mentioned the younger brother of Rama. Younger brother of Rama was mentioned somewhere while you were reading. So in this, they were telling about Krishna, and so where the Rama and younger brother was mentioned. So I need to know where's younger brother of Rama was mentioned.
Too much echo in this room, I don't know. But I assume...
Rama, I said Ram.
Yeah, Ram. When we talk about Rama Krishna in Vrindavan, we're talking about Krishna and Balaram.
And
so he's the younger brother of Ram.
And there's another question. Krishna, we know that he left to Dwarika because he wanted to the Brajvasi to be saved because the demons were attacking them. Why all these gopis who were pure devotees of Krishna and they were in separation left behind, and why did Krishna went to Dwarika, not stayed in Braj?
But actually he didn't leave them. He went deep into their hearts. We're just seeing even in just from leaving in the rasa dance how mad they became. So when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Dwarka, then they were remembering again and again, and that remembrance of Krishna is not different from Krishna, the same as Krishna himself. Instead of seeing outside, they were seeing within their hearts, and that's even more intense. That was Vasudeva and Sankarshan who went to Dwarka. When they, right here, there's one place, a Kuragat. So there, Krishna and Balaram, they remain, and Sankarshan and Vasudeva went off to Mathura. When they took their bath and they switched places.
So actually, when Krishna went to Dwarka, he became more present in Vrindavan because the intensity of love and separation of the Brajavasi. He was more present in Vrindavan when he went to Dwarka, actually.
Yeah. One more question.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So you said that Krishna and Balaram never left Vrindavan, and Vasudeva and Sankarshan went to Mathura, and then he was not there manifested in Vrindavan Leela also because he was so where was he then in actual form?
Okay. The Brajvasis. Madhya Yasoda, Nanda Baba, the Gopis, everyone, they were just seeing Krishna before all their senses were outside. But when Krishna left, all their senses turned inside and they were seeing Krishna even more intensely within their hearts.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
One day, because that is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. How are we going to be able to understand all of these high philosophical things? I have no hope for millions of births. But somehow by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we're going to He's revealed all of these wonderful things to us. And by His mercy, one day we'll be able to understand. That's why this Gaur Purnima festival is so important for us. We have no hopes of understanding all of these things or reaching all of these things. We can just pray at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and chant very loudly and very enthusiastically, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So if there's no other questions, and we could fall down at the very soft and wonderful lotus feet of that great personality who's given us all of these wonderful books to help us become Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna